Severance is arguably one of the biggest shows of the past few years. People love it because it's super dark and dystopian, but it also has this really authentic, relatable feel to it. What brings this show to life that nobody is really talking about is the theme music. You can pick apart the story of Severance in the chords and melody of the music. I'm gonna dive into specifically how that is the case, but I learned this fact about the show's theme music the other day for the first time that kind of blew me away. It basically happened by accident. What you're hearing in the main theme and throughout the entire show, it was one of a bunch of ideas that the composer Theodore Shapiro sent to Ben Stiller, the producer, and Ben ended up really liking this one part that Theodore had come up with, and it ended up becoming the theme for the whole show, which is wild to think that something that he wasn't intending to be like the hook, the main musical theme that pulls people into the show, that ended up becoming part of the actual identity of the show. Also, Dylan is one of my favorite TV characters of all time. He's the absolute greatest.
My delts are embarrassingly good today. My Audi does muscle shows for sure.
If your Audi did muscle shows, you wouldn't have to work here.
So we're in C minor, which is great because I'm not one of these piano YouTubers. I know my way around the keys, but I'm a guitarist, so C minor is great. If you're a beginning piano player, this part is pretty doable. So we start in familiar territory with C minor. But then we're completely off in this very weird, dark, dystopian place, Lumen Industries. Very unsettling, F sharp major over C. C is not related to the F sharp major scale, so very dark and weird. But then we get back to this place of familiarity, F major over C. But where we came from to get there was still weird, so going from F sharp major, it's literally just taking the exact chord and moving everything down a half step. So F sharp major over C, which is C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, and then down to F with C, F, A. So even though that feels familiar, we had to get to this F major chord from F sharp major. So weird and dark, but really amazing. Loving all this chromatic, step-by-step note movement to keep things really intriguing and keeping you off balance and really unsettled. And then to this last chord, A sharp minor over C. But what's really cool about this chord, we've got B, D sharp, and G sharp, is that this D sharp, which is also known as E flat for C minor, okay, right? But then we've got this B, also very unsettling, and then we got to throw the G sharp in it on top. But what's cool is the B resolves up to C, and the G sharp resolves down to G, which gets us back to the first chord, C minor. It brings this really eerie resolution. Music is all about tension and release, right? Building something up just to resolve it. But here it's really dark and creepy, super interesting. But then we've got this new melody, which is also just musically super weird if we're in C minor. But then we've got this B natural, B flat, G, B flat, G. Now, B natural is a note that shows up in a C major scale. But we've got this B flat that then shows up as if it were in C minor, B flat there on top, which is a C minor with a major 7 on top, which is already kind of an out there chord, but then it decides to go back down to B flat and then back to G. Really eerie melody that gets introduced, and then the melody tweaks itself a little bit in some of the transition sections where it goes from this F major over C, where it goes it's this very eerie chromatic melody that tells the story of this very eerie, unsettling plot where you exist as one person for one half the day and you don't remember anything you do, and then you exist as this other person the other part of the day, and the two people don't know each other, but you're the same person. I love how this melody fits the story and the plot of the show. After we've got this first melody established, right, and then this higher melody comes in over this A sharp minor chord, it starts out super eerie, and then it brings us back into this regular, weird, unsettling place. right? So when we're over that A flat minor, The melody outlines an A flat minor chord and then just kind of goes a step up in that A flat minor scale. And then we're back in C minor. Off to the F sharp major. Just so brilliant and simple. The best melodies and the best scores out there have some kind of simple hook. Even these like Hans Zimmer scores that are like these 500,000 tubas and 600 million French horns, there's something simple and organic and human and very hooky about what a lot of these great scores do. And one of my favorite parts of the score is just right at the beginning, right after you've gone through this chord progression, this very weird, like, you know, and it's just like you finally hear this just, that's it. It's like, I've never heard a melody like that. And it immediately sets the tone for what you're going to watch later in the show. Creepy in the best way. Again, thinking back to some of the great themes that we've ever heard, John Williams with Star Wars and Indiana Jones, Hans Zimmer with Pirates of the Caribbean and Inception, Howard Shore, Lord of the Rings, Michael Giacchino with Up and Inside Out. The melody, the chords, it fits the story. That's what any music producer or composer is trying to do. Make the music fit the vibe of what story is being told. If you really want to dive deeper into understanding musicality and how to build your music skills as a music producer, I'm running a sale right now for my course, Next Level Producer, where I dive in and share over 40 videos of my 10 years plus experience as a professional music producer, having sold or placed over 200 tracks myself. In this course, I share every single detail of how I did what I did and how you can do it too. Check out the link in the description below and let me know in the comments what your favorite score is from a TV show or a movie. I'd love to pick another score to dive deep into for another video here. That's it for me. Peace.